Hello everyone. Today I'd like to cover a couple of things. One is taking a look at this box of magazine and stamps and stencil and dies from IndigoBlu, from their mixed media special, it says. And inside the box you get a magazine full of ideas, techniques, instructions, goodness knows what, absolutely packed. In the middle is a whole bunch of papers, double-sided, so you could choose which side you'd like to use. And there are instructions, ideas, just absolutely jam-packed. I was fortunate enough to meet a lot of these designers when I went on the retreat with IndigoBlu, and they are just such fun. I loved it. So this couple of pages just shows you what you get: the papers, a die, a whole sheet of stamps, a stencil, and some sentiments, stickers they are. There is even a picture which includes me from when I went on the retreat that weekend in Retford. It was fabulous. Anyway, what I thought I'd do today is combine this with a thought which came to me from a comment by a viewer who said that she loved my distress inks, my distress oxide inks that I used, and she would love to build up a supply of them, but you know, expense is a big concern, and I do so agree. So what I thought I'd try and do today is to make a tag, a little mixed media-y type tag, but just use one ink pad. We'll see how we go on. So these are the stencils. This is the die, and this die is a very useful kind of die in that it has this surrounding die, which means if you use the centre by itself on a piece of card, it will just cut out the leaves. And so you'll see that design as holes in a larger piece of card. If you cut both together, like this, you'll get a die cut like that, where the whole thing can be lifted out. Without that outer piece, you'll just get this design in the centre of a piece of card, wherever you put it. So that's the die. Here are the stamps. I'm not an incredibly flowery person, but there are ways that you can use bits of these without using the whole thing. Love this one. Love the little bits of sentiments, my kind of thing. So that is the sheet of stamps. These are the stickers. You just peel them off like this and stick them onto your project. Couldn't be more convenient. So let's just put them to one side. I've got a few things ready for my tag. If I put these down, I probably won't remember where I put them. Let's just try there. So what I've done is this. I have made a sheet of mylar as a mask using the tag die that I'm proposing to use today. So in the centre, I have got a tag cut with this die. The mylar is cut with this die, but my sticky thing is not quite as sticky as it might be. So I'm just going to give a quick squirt of stick and spray. It's a repositionable adhesive, so I can pop it on the back, make sure that stays down, just so it'll keep still without my fingers on it as I'm working. So I'm just going to do a quick spray, and I do have a window open, so fear not. Not much at all, just a tiny little spray, and I'm going to put that back into the aperture I made just for it. So one thing I learned about on my retreat in Retford was using bits and bobs. And so I've just dug out a few bits and bobs here. There's a bit of music, a bit of old sheet music, and the joy of this one is the colour of the paper. If you've got modern stuff, you can always dull it down with some ink of some description, but this is the natural colour, and I think it's lovely. So I've ripped a couple of strips of that, and this one, I had obviously I'd ripped something from it, and I thought that would be quite nice, sort of down the edge, kind of like that. But because this is a decal type edge, it'd be difficult to match it exactly. So what I thought I'd do is just pop this through my die cutting machine so that I can fit it on so it does match exactly. I mean, I think a lot of mixed media type things, you know, the slightly more off key the better, really. But I think I'm just going to pop this through my machine now. There we go. I haven't got room for my die cutting machine on the table anymore with this big mat. Anyway, there's my bit of ephemera, my bit of text. I've just ripped it, but it doesn't matter. And that now should fit exactly down the edge like that when I want to come to do it. So I'll put that on one side. I've got my 2 bits of manuscript. I've got this, which I cut from regular white card and coloured with the one colour of Distress Oxide that I'm going to use, which is antique linen. Here I found a scrap of ribbon. I don't know if I like the colour with it or not, but it's a little bit crinkled. So what I'm going to do is this. This is just an old pair of, what do you call these, hair straighteners. So all I do, if I've got some ribbon I want to flatten, is simply put it through my hair straighteners. And I imagine a lot of people have got some hair straighteners. It's a lot quicker than getting an iron out, and it just smooths it out. If I don't like the colour of this against the colour of the tag when I've finished it, I'll see if I can colour it with some of my Distress Oxide so that I use it once again. There we go. Just smoothing it out. You may want, you know, squished up ribbon. I've done that before now, and I've put glue and all sorts on to make sure it stays squished up, but I just thought I'd try some smooth today. Okay, let's just turn this off and put them down. Right, now what I want to do to start off with is just to put a little base colour down all over, very gently, not particularly evenly, but just a little bit of colour all over the tag. I think if you build up your colours a few at a time, you just think which colours would be useful to you in your own projects and go with that. And it's often a good idea, I've found, to have a couple of shades of a similar colour. So a couple of greens or a couple of blues or whatever. Okay, it's kind of blotchy, which is what I was after. The next thing I want to use is the stencil. Here's the stencil. And I would like to use these bubbly things and this the hint of some script in there as well. I don't think it actually says anything, but, you know, it's kind of there. So I think I'll have a bit going diagonally across like this. Now, I don't want that to be coloured, and I don't want this to be coloured. So if I can see some low-tack tape, I'll just cover that up, just so we don't get any stray ink where I don't want it. I don't want the triangle-y, liney things today, and I don't want this corner down here. So, right, now I'm going to use the same colour again, but I'm going to be pressing a little harder. Notice this time I've got my finger on the head of the brush, when I want a gentle touch, I tend to just, I don't know what other people do, but I tend to hold it further back like this, for really gentle, because you've not got so much pressure on the head. But if I want a deeper colour, I'll put my finger on the head of the brush. Don't necessarily want them to be all exactly the same shade. They can be darker or lighter in places. Now let's have a look at this. It's quite pretty. I think I might put a little more up in that top corner. Let's just use a little bit of it. Maybe there. Over on the side a bit. Now I won't see much of that if I've got that bit of writing there, will I? So we'll see. Okay, let's try this. Okay, that's 2 shades of this colour, in fact, just by the way I've applied it with the same brush. You can see a distinct difference in the colour. So that's my bit of stenciling there. Now I'd like to do a little bit of stamping. I've got this text. Now that text is going to go like that. Do I want this? It might be a bit samey, mightn't it? Let's just think a minute. Maybe. If I don't like it, just do the other thing. I'll try it. Now this should get a different strength of ink yet again, because if you stamp, you get a more intense colour than if you use a brush. So I'll take that off again because I don't want it on that particular bit. Let's have it about there. Okay. I don't know if it actually says much, but it's just kind of, oh, that's fine. That is fine. Okay. Right, just clean this off. Now, let's, there's another little stamp here. This one says, you don't have to be perfect to be amazing. Just as well, isn't it, really? Me, crikey. Perfect, I ain't. Right. I don't have to, I think we'll try and have most of it on. Let's have that there. Okay. Just a hint of things, really. I think I'll stick this down now, down this edge, because I may like a bit of something going over it. Or should I have a bit of that coming from under it? What do we think, I wonder? Perhaps just have a couple of bits. I can always ziggy-zaggy a bit of that out afterwards. Okay, yeah, maybe. Right. I think for this, I will use a little Slap It On, if I can find it. Here it is. Slap It On. This is from IndigoBlu. I'll just pop a bit onto this. Okay. Maybe a little water as well. Just a little. Okay, and a brush. Let's have this one. Right. Let's put some Slap It On this. There we go. Let's get it into position. There we are. I'm going to put the same Slap It On over the top as well. There we go. Now let's put this a bit of manuscript on. We'll put a bit on the back. I'm a bit funny actually about getting music the right way up. It's very difficult for people who don't actually read music to know which way up it's kind of supposed to be, but let's hope if there's an accidental, one of those funny little marks with a note, it should go before it, which is, I don't know if that's any help for anybody, but I don't know if you can see this one. There's a sharp there, and then the F, so it's got to go before it to say, as you're coming to it, it's a sharp. Make sure you make it a sharp. So if that's any help, obviously treble clefs and things have to be the right way up, so let's have it. I quite like the one with a bit of a sharp in it. Let's put this here. Okay. There we go. Okay, over this. Okay. It's not stuck down properly. Down you go. Okay. Now, I have also got this little leaf stamp from the large set, so I'll use some of this as well. A nice little leaf. Still the same colour, haven't added anything yet. I quite like leaves to appear from the side as if they haven't actually got a floating thing, so let's try that. Right, we're getting there. I'm just going to put my clean this brush off a little minute. I may use some of this later, so I'll just put that over it just to keep it moist. Right, now then, what I'd like to do is that does actually feel as if it's not stuck down properly there. Let's put a drop more glue on. Good job I didn't wipe it off, isn't it? Let's try again. A bit more of this. Are we stuck down? I'll cut the edge off of that later. Okay, now I did wonder about adding a bit of this too. Whether I would put a piece on about perhaps like that and just cut the rest off down the side. I think that might be quite nice, don't you? Let's put a bit of slap it on this. And the ink was applied to this stencil, this die cut rather, should I say, directly from the pad. So there we go. Don't seem to want to be sticking terribly well today. There we go. The one thing I may add, probably lots of people will be waiting for it, is a little bit of gilding wax. Oh Lord, it's not sticking terribly well. Let's put a bit more of Slap It On. Ooh. Let's put it directly on there. Oh, there we go. That's rather a lot. Okay. About like that. Okay. May put a bit of white gesso on over this afterwards, we'll see. Let's just cut this bit off. Because this is kind of wobbly, it'll look all right with the edge, I think. Okay. Right, now the next thing I want to do, and I'll do this, I don't know whether to do this with the in here or not. No, I'll do it this way. I want to put some extra colour on the edge. So I'm just randomly getting it over. I just don't mind how it goes on this. There we go. Right. Now, I think the next thing that's called for is probably a little gilding wax. Yeah, my all-time favourite. There it is. It's little gold. I've taken to using a little eye makeup applicator recently, which I can be a bit more precise with where it goes on actually this way. So just it's fun. I don't want it to look sort of random-y. But as I say, one ink pad here, that's all, just one. So you can, you know, choose carefully and build up your stash slowly and without going too mad. I'd like a bit more gold on this die cut, I think. Just a hint. Cleo was good at doing this the other day. There we go. Now, where's my ribbon? What did I do with my ribbon? Here it is. Let's have a look. What do I think about the colour? I tell you what, I'm going to just colour a little bit of it to see if I like it. I don't know if I will or I won't, so let's just have a look. I don't know if I like that or not, actually. Let's just... Can't find my scissors. No, I don't think... I think I'll keep it... I will keep it this colour, this ivory. I think I rather care for that. So... I think just one knot. I save bits of ribbon from all sorts of things. I'm just wondering if I could, I'll find my proper scissors. I've got dedicated ribbon scissors and they're not in the pot, so don't know what I did with them. I think I probably took them to cut out some of those wretched ribbons from a new dress. So I have to go and retrieve them. To me, that looks a little bit, there's something missing. I'd like something here, definitely something there. So what have I got in my kit, I ask myself. Oh, I have my sentiments, don't I? I haven't used my sentiments yet. That's probably what is required. So I think I would like the black rather than the white with black. That doesn't go so well, does it? The black looks better. So what shall we say? I think I would like to stick them onto another piece of card. So I've got a piece scrap here. I'll cut them on, stick them onto this and then cut them out, and then I can pop them up a little bit and give it a bit of dimension, I think. So what shall we have? You're the best, I think we'll have. You're the and best. It's amazing the number of people who don't or can't remember the difference between your, meaning belonging to you, Y-O-U-R, and you're meaning you are. This is you are with the A for are missing, which is why there's an apostrophe. It's difficult for some people to kind of, I don't know, remember. I guess I'm going to cut these smaller first and then cut them down. Just a tiny, tiny white border. It's really is surprising the things people have a struggle to remember. I can empathise. Your, not your. Let's do the next bit. The. Oops, it's quite small. Your, the. Don't know where they're going to go, but we'll see. I'll just have a little play. Right. There we go. And I propose to put this onto either a square, or I think it might look better on a 5x7 actually. Let's find a 5x7. There's a 5x7. Whoops, knock the words off. I'll pop these on with a little bit of foam tape just to pop them up. There we go. Really simple, lots of fun, and it's still kind of clean and simple. There's quite a bit of white space. I'll find my proper scissors and cut that off. So, there you go. A tag, mini mixed media with just one ink pad. Have fun, and thanks for watching.